Hey guys, this is Brittany and I'm here to just make a follow-up video to a video I posted about my experience working in EF in Chongqing, China. In that video, I go into depth about, the interview process, getting hired, moving to China, doing the training, everything pretty much before you become an actual teacher at EF. So in this video, I'm gonna go into more depth about a typical week as an EF teacher. So we'll go ahead and dive right in. So once you've gone through your initial training and you're actually ready to take on your classes, this is what your typical work week is going to look like. Everybody has different days off, but you'll have 2 consecutive weekdays off. So for me personally, it was Monday and Tuesday. And for the sake of this video, I'm just going to go through what my schedule was, just so you can see what my life was like when I was a teacher at EF. So like I said before, my off days were Monday and Tuesday, so that meant the weekdays that I worked were Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Weekdays are a lot shorter than the weekends, and typically you'll go into your center maybe 2 or 3 o'clock, depending on your DOS, and you have admin time until 5. So during the admin time, you're grading papers, you're lesson planning, you're printing out all the materials that you're gonna have for your classes later in the evening, pretty much just prepping. And if you have any extra time, it's really useful for you to start planning for the weekend as well, because the weekends can get crazy. But basically from 2 to 3 o'clock until about 5 is when you're just in the office. You're not teaching, you're just prepping, you're on your computer, and you're getting ready for your lessons. Then there are 3 lessons that you can have, either from 5 to 6, 6:15 to 7:15, or 7:30 to 8:30. So it's not typical that you'll have 3 classes in a row all 3 days that you work on the weekdays, but it can happen. So just know that you might have 1 class one day, you might have 2 classes another day, it just kind of depends. So for example, for me, I had Wednesday class from 5 to 6, and then a break, and then class from 7:30 to 8:30. On Thursday, I only had 1 class from 6:15 to 7:15, and then on Friday, I had another 2 classes from 5 to 6, and then 6:15 to 7:15. So typically you won't have, like I said, you won't have 3 classes all 3 days. It just depends on your DOS and how busy your center is. So the good part about it is that once you're done with your classes on weekdays, you can go home. So when I ended at 7:15, I can go home. I don't have to wait until 8:30 when the rest of the classes are, which is really nice. So that's not how it is on the weekends, but on the weekdays, you can just leave whenever your classes are, and typically you won't have a full schedule on the weekdays, which is great. So that brings us to Saturdays and Sundays, which are definitely your longer days. Your typical work hours are going to be from 10:15 a.m. to 6:15 p.m. For me, the whole year that I was there, I had back-to-back classes on the weekends, so the weekends were really hectic for me. I had a 2-hour class in the morning from 10:15 to 12:15, then you have lunch, and then I had 2 more 2-hour classes. So again, 4 hours after lunch, 2 hours before lunch. So I was pretty jam-packed. But that's not the case for everybody. Sometimes you'll have, 1 or 2 hour break in between your classes, but the unfortunate thing is on the weekends it's a lot more busy. So even if you have an hour or 2 as a break, it's not like it is on the weekdays where you can just, sit at your computer, plan, have some admin time. A lot of the times, even if you aren't having class, you're still gonna be pretty busy because there are a lot more things going on the weekends. You can give a demo lesson, which is just, a mock lesson for potential students that want to be joining EF. You can do something called WCLHs, which are just activities that you do with students. During the holidays, we might make a Christmas tree and teach them a couple English words. It's just, like a supplement to their English classes that they normally take. You can also give placement tests to students that want to test into other classes. So it's pretty hectic on the weekends. You're not typically just going to be sitting, and if you are very lucky. But it makes up for it because the weekdays are pretty slow, I would say, and then the weekends are pretty crazy. So whether you have 6 hours of class or not, you're still going to be filling in that time, with other things that they may ask you to do. So that's why I think it's really important to take advantage of the admin time during the weekdays when it's slower. Prep for your classes, print everything out, all the worksheets, gather your materials, make sure you're ready to go because you're just going to go back to back to back and you really won't have time to figure out what you're going to be teaching. So overall, the weekends might seem a little hectic and crazy, but the weekdays are pretty slow and mellow, so it really works out. It's not one of those jobs that you take home with you by any means, so it's fun, it's engaging, but it's not too much stress on yourself, which is awesome. Still gives you, plenty of time to travel. Like I said, I had Mondays and Tuesdays off. I'd get off Sunday at 6:15 and didn't have to work again until Wednesday at 3. So that's almost 2.5 days every week that I could just hop on a train and go somewhere super cool in China. So it was a really fun experience for me, and I hope that you enjoyed it as much as I did.